It's July 26th, 2007, and an anime music video, AMV, has just been uploaded to YouTube by a user titled Zombie Beats 2000. The description states the song used as well as the source for the clips, though below it reads,
"Yeah, a little AMV that took me only an hour to make, and it really sucks. But it's like my third AMV, and I'm a noob, so yeah."
The third AMV. You see, there had been videos posted before this, specifically vlogs and other videos of this nature. However, those have since been deleted and little documentation has been done on them, thus meaning I cannot find them online. This is, after all, 2007, before the silly PewDiePie Amnesia Let's Plays. Or potentially even your birth. Yeah, put that into perspective. This would persist for a couple more videos, essentially the same media as before. August 5th, 2007. Another video is uploaded to YouTube from the channel, I'm gonna butcher this, Nya Neko Nya XX. I don't think I butchered that, but it's entirely a possibility. Regardless, this video features an individual who goes by Neko-chan, explaining how she plans to post vlogs and lip syncs in the future, stemming away from the AMVs she'd been posting prior on her alternate aforementioned channel. She says that she wishes to become rather famous in the way Smosh had, despite not having the same level of humor that they do.
Anyways, I'm gonna be doing vlogs and lip syncing, I guess. I look like crap, because I didn't do anything. I just woke up and stayed in the house all day.
And so, she would do just that. On November 13th of the same year, she would post a phone conversation with her friend, Cortez.
"You are on TV."
I am?
No. It's sort of, but because you're on YouTube. I'm recording right now.
Fairly standard video, nothing seriously of note. The following video is a lot more expressive, allowing us to see who this individual actually is.
Hello, my YouTube people. Shoot me.
It's worthwhile to mention that this one was posted 2 years after, on January 27th, 2010, aptly titled, "I'm Lonely." It seems like a joke, like it's all fun and games. This video has done remarkably well recently, because it fits in with modern humor. It's aged much like wine. On the surface level, it does appear to be a joke, but that can't be farther from the truth.
Hit me where it hurts.
Hello, this is Noriko, and I'm here to talk to you about this past week.
Immediately, it becomes evident that she's changed her name since last time we've seen her. She discusses her usage of glasses even though she does not require them to see, then begins listing a bunch of things she likes.
Do I even need these on? I don't know, but they make me look better. I like it better with glasses, because I like glasses, girls, and maids, and nurses. And lolicon. And gore. But that's not the point I was supposed to tell you about this week.
Her interests are somewhat disturbing, especially the last two. It's rather clear to see that this is a weeaboo, an individual deeply entrenched in anime and all that comes with it. This is still when the internet was widely unmoderated, so it was substantially easier to find things one would consider suspect, I suppose. What listing out these interests also did was create a parasocial attachment between the viewer and her. She wants people to message her. She wants people to be interested in her life, for reasons I'll touch on later.
My friend, my only friend. He's like my best friend. He's my only friend. There's dried blood on my keyboard. Yuck.
You can also tell that this is a child. As I was doing research for this video, all the comments were disabled, which is genuinely unfortunate. From before this, many of the comments were scattered across the years, a few of which were complimenting her. Again, this is a child. Before the comments were purged, there was one stating that she was 16 years old at the time of these uploads, though another Reddit post says she was 14.
The thing is, this week I wasn't with my friend because it was his birthday on Monday. And I fell asleep. I didn't get to say happy birthday at midnight like I wanted to. He went to a psychiatric hospital. So I was all sad because I'm all alone this whole week and I'm just sitting here in my room and the lights are usually off, but I turn them on.
She mentions that it was one of her friend's birthdays the past week and that they had to go to a psychiatric hospital, leaving her alone in her room. She proceeds to say that she hasn't been able to think straight and that her father is calling her stupid because of it.
I realized that this week I've had trouble. I turned weird. There's stuff wrong. I can't think straight. My dad is getting mad at me because he's telling me to stop being stupid. But I'm not being stupid. I'm trying to be how I was.
Noriko says she wants to be the way she was, implying that something traumatic happened recently to get her to this point. As a result of this, she scratched her hand, showing it to the camera and delineating that another person, Mariko, if I heard her pronounce that correctly, told her to. Mariko seems to be black and white, two-faced as Noriko puts it. One moment she's miserly, and the next she's providing head pats. Most of the people at her school treat her this way, bullying her for her stutter, developing Noriko's appreciation for remaining at home.
I scratched my hand because Mariko told me to. I don't like her because she's all mean. She likes to torture me, but then she's all like, oh, it's gonna be okay, and she pets my head, and I like my head being petted, but it's not right when she's so mean, but then she's gonna pet my head. People are so stupid. I don't like people. I don't like you, and I don't like your friends, and I don't like your family. I don't even care if I know you or not. I don't like you.
This is the main reason for her not liking people, not even the people watching the video. She concludes the video by saying she has a doctor appointment the following Monday. The description is another beast entirely, elucidating some of the thoughts presented in the video.
I'll write more about this video after my doctor's appointment and stuff, but this is really just kind of showing you what I'm currently like, and if you know anything that could be wrong with me. I'm trying to do a small self-diagnosis before I go to the psychiatrist, so I could maybe suggest something or something. No, I'm not looking for attention or anything. I think you can tell that I'm not looking so great, and not that I ever look great, and I don't think that having a mental illness is fun or anything. It really isn't fun, and I don't enjoy it at all. I would love to be a regular person and do school like everyone else does. But no, I don't want to be a Hollister-wearing clone, but I would at least like to have my grades up and be happy. If you have hallucinations, depression, isolation, some things, whatever it is, and stuff, just tell me about it, because I want to find more people like me.
The main purpose of this video was to try and help herself overcome these problems and find like-minded people that she has been unable to find in person. Furthermore, there is a notes section to the description, reading,
At the beginning, I was trying to get the glare out of my glasses. I wasn't doing any weird twitchy thing or anything. I noticed that it looked like that when I was rewatching it. I learned that a lot of this came from social isolation, which I brought upon myself, so please don't socially isolate yourself. Honestly, I like being alone, but I hate it, you know? The thing that hurts me the most is that my mom's friends' children all look up to me, and I've gotten worse and worse, and I don't want them idolizing me, so I really need to do something. At least medication to hide this. No, I haven't done drugs, taken medicine, and I don't drink alcohol. At the end, I was really angry, but I realized that I don't look as angry as I was. part of this is me not showing much emotion anymore other than this desperate kind of look. I don't know. Help me out here.
You know it's impossible to fear.
There's very little to be gained from this video, so I'll simply play it. I see this as nothing more than inadvertently fueling the flame of parasocial contact.
Check it out. I just got out of the shower. And I'm naked.
This is precisely what questionable people want to find. I digress. She opens the video by stating that, during the course of the week, she'd been put into a psychiatric hospital. There, she had received 2 medications, them being Zoloft and Risperdal. The medications are causing her to have low blood pressure, which, in turn, is making her shake lightly, something she shows to the camera. Food is the solution to this problem. However, Noriko says she's been having difficulty getting the sustenance down.
Hello, everyone. Yeah, so this week I was put in a, psychiatric hospital. Hold on. Yeah, I was put on medication. I was put on Zoloft and Risperdal. I'm having a lot of trouble eating, though. Like, I'm starting to feel kind of sick whenever I put food in my mouth. It felt great at first, though. I don't feel shaky anymore as much, so.
There are a few long pauses in this video, a manifestation of her frustration with the medication. The description of the video literally states,
I hate medication!
Moving forward, she remarks that she has fries and soda at her desk, knowing that it isn't the most healthy, but that she doesn't care about what happens to herself. Another manifestation of her discontent with the medication.
I guess that's not a good thing to eat, but I don't know. I can care less what happens to me.
Fortunately, there is an indicator that her home life isn't too disjointed, with the appearance of a new camera. Something makes me think she'd be unable to sustain a job during this period, going in and out of the psychiatric hospital, which means that someone in her family had purchased it for her, a glimpse of a positive. This, of course, is because it was her birthday. More public information for her, albeit a limited audience to eat up. Following this, we get the first mention of her actual name, Ashley Hanrahan.
If you want proof I went to the place, I have my little medical bracelet thing. It says, Hanrahan Ashley S. MRN. Some number, account number.
The remainder of the video is devoted to her discussing her visit and how shaky she was because of the medication, explaining that she was having hallucinations.
Psychiatric hospitals, it's not cool. I met a girl there and she totally killed me with how she was talking and what she was doing. She thinks it's all a joke, basically. She thinks that she can just lie and get more I hope she gets it all back when she's old and all that medication that she doesn't even need goes back on her, because she doesn't need medication for hallucinations because she's lying about them, because there's always a different story every time about it. Try and give her Risperdal. No.
One thing I noted while going through the transcript was how separated each line was. When she speaks, she says a decent amount, though the pauses in between are quite lengthy.
Maybe I forget if I'm still real.
The first thing I noticed was the description of this video. She states that
They need to increase my dosage of Risperdal.
What follows this are 2 links, one to a book she's written and one to a book her friend has written. These websites are able to be accessed, however, unfortunately, their content has since been wiped for whatever reason. I checked the Wayback Machine to verify if it was fully lost or not, and it is. Kind of tragic because it could result in more insight into her condition, but we deal with the losses. If things in her life are seemingly taking a turn for the better, she states at the beginning of the video that she's been speaking more coherently and articulately.
After a little while of just talking to myself, I'm starting to talk pretty normally now, and I'm pretty happy. I like talking to myself now because I don't usually have people to talk to, so if I talk to myself, then I have someone to talk to.
Thus improving her mood. One of the only comforts she has is talking to herself, as there are not many people willing to talk to her. Self-talk can be considered a symptom or sign of mental illness. It's normal, usually, but not in excess, and is a clue as to what mental problem she's actively been dealing with. Some of the only people she has to speak with at this moment in time is the comment section. Somewhat concerning considering how they will eventually treat her. It's unhealthy to have your only source of connection come from the internet, let alone individuals that are highly likely to be older men. The medication, thus far, has done nothing to remove any semblance of emotion she once had, much like the title implies. Feeling disconnected from the world around us is a sign of dissociation. I'm not a medical professional and I won't claim to be, though there are a variety of problems with this. If any medication results in these outcomes, they should be stopped. It's clearly been shown prior that the father has taken issue with the fact his daughter is acting, quote-unquote, strangely. So the possibility of her stopping the medication absolutely is improbable. The hallucinations are still present, so it begs the question, is the medication doing anything of note? She's already contradicted herself on multiple occasions during the video, and it's only been a minute and a half.
I have someone to talk to, though I'm pretty boring, so I hate talking to myself. But I wanted to do a little update because I had a few people who were kind of checking in on how I was. The medication doesn't do much but make me feel nothing at all. I haven't felt angry, happy, sad. I've just felt nothing. I'm like an emotionless zombie. I still have hallucinations and I'm still pretty depressed, but
she states that she has depression and is simultaneously numb. This entails that Hanrahan can't fully get a grasp on her emotions, leading me once again to believe she is dissociating and is separate from everything in her life, leading her to feeling depressed about that. She says the Zoloft has been working, but the Risperdal hadn't.
I'll just take a little time and wait for it to get its full effect, the Zoloft. But the Risperdal's not working. I think they need to increase the dosage or something, because really, it's killing me, seeing all of that.
As with the description, she emphasizes the importance of her book, while also advertising it. Despite her being more articulate, as previously stated, she does seem less energetic than she had in the videos prior. There's something missing in her, piece of the puzzle that she believes can potentially be fixed with medicine, as if that's the only way. The video concludes with her planning what she'll do when she eventually moves out and gets her own place, saying that she wants to get 2 cats, a calico and a tabby. The last 15 seconds are rather strange. I'll play them, though they aren't particularly of note.
The thing about this medication is when I take it, when I feel like if I'm going to feel sad, I don't feel sad, but my brain knows it's sad. So it's like, I know I'm depressed as hell. I know I'm suffering, but I don't feel a thing. So it's like pain, but you don't feel it. It's kind of like, let's say, seeing half your body get cut off, but you don't feel it. You're freaking out. You're going, oh my god, my body got cut off. But you don't feel it, but you know that it's happening. And banks, I don't like them. They store all your money and they make you pay to take it out. That's credit cards.
This video was uploaded on the same day as the last. It's short at a very minimal length of 17 seconds.
My computer is yelling at me and I do not know what I should do. It is telling me to get off the computer and to go to sleep so I can be productive. Well, let me tell you something, computer. I cannot do anything, so leave me alone.
By saying that the computer is telling her to steer away from the computer, it's a representation of the fact that she's stuck at home, remaining there to essentially decay until going outside again. All she does is stay at home, at least as long as her actions are within her own volition. The computer, or technology in general, is extremely addictive, pulling us in and holding us. All of us yearn for more, yearn for our departure from the compulsive ways we live. I think this poem is a subtle testament to that. Wanting to go outside and be with people, better people, but unable to because of her condition. The description merely reads,
I read one of my poems.
It can be assumed that this is an excerpt from her book.
Nothing in my face aside.
Once again, another upload from the same date, the shortest one yet at a runtime of 7 seconds.
I wake up in the morning and my alarm clock goes ring, 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 rabbits and shit. I don't want to wake up.
It's evident that she's growing frustrated with her life, wanting something to change. These past 3 uploads have all been on the same day. She's bored, desiring to do something of note with her time. The description reads,
I do not want to wake up.
That's fairly self-explanatory. The assumption can be made that these videos are all excerpts from her aforementioned book, of which we haven't any access. To preface, the description of this video is,
I explain how cats reproduce.
So, that's something, I guess. She opens the video stating that she's not going to make a video on something as depressive as she has been. It's a peculiar subject to take her mind off of things, though it's certainly something needed. She proceeds to explain the most unrealistic manner of reproduction. I'm not even going to summarize it because it's somewhat irrelevant to the grand plot, but yeah. As the video concludes, she dares the viewer to prove her wrong, stating that because she perceives things this way, she's therefore correct. It's very clearly a joke, though every joke has a sliver of truth to it. Even when YouTubers create supposed filler videos, they still usually have a theme consistent with the rest of their channel. This is a complete outlier.
Losing my own words, you act like you don't know me.
This is the first video in which she openly admits she's a hikikomori. This is a disturbingly common phenomenon in Japan, where, due to severe and extreme social anxiety, an individual shuts themselves off from the world, rarely ever leaving their home. They typically rely on their parents or a loved one to purchase food and basic necessities for them, as they're unable to do simplistic tasks themselves. They stay in their room all day, mostly sleeping, reading, playing video games, all with the goal to withdraw as much as humanly possible. This is absurdly unhealthy. Many people who live like this die in their rooms, the only thing to notify others of their untimely demise being the stench that buries itself in their carpets. It's terrifying. Regardless, Hanrahan has been finding new ways to occupy her time, showing to the camera her new notebooks and pens. Her plan is to write 9 short stories, requesting for idea submissions from her fans.
I am a hikikomori. I don't go out of my house. I don't have friends in real life. I don't do anything but sit in my room and do nothing. I have 3 notebooks, three subject notebooks, and I want to write 9 short stories. I need some ideas, because I suck at coming up with ideas. So if you can help me with that, it would be very greatly appreciated.
Strangely, another occupant of her time has been cutting holes in her shirts. Subsequently, she divulges how large an impact the medication is having on not only her conscious life, but also her unconscious thoughts. She mentions that she had a dream about Risperdal, how it was given to her in red pills with a marshmallow placed in there to give the impression of the pills being larger, I guess. She's at the point where the side effects are no longer apparent, causing her to still very openly want an increased dosage. The video then proceeds to focus on the cats mentioned earlier. Everything's becoming far more coherent. There does seem to be some visible improvement, albeit minor. That's something, I suppose. After that, I genuinely lost track of what was happening. I'll let the clip roll.
Tokiko, which is time, child. Yume, which is dream. Waribashi, which is disposable wooden chopsticks. And Uni, which is sea.
I'm still here. Is this what you want?
The description of this video reads,
Finally.
we learn that she's been diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder, one of the main triggers for this being either neglect or abuse, restless leg syndrome or RLS, a self-explanatory syndrome that activates mostly in the evenings and has prevented her from getting proper sleep, and insomnia.
I was diagnosed with schizoaffective disorder. He gave me these nifty little sample packets for my medicine, but the search is over. I was diagnosed. And actually, that makes me feel a lot better to know what I have.
Doing some research reveals other causes are genetic, related to the chemistry of the brain, or drug use, though I doubt it's the latter for schizoaffective disorder. As opposed to schizophrenia, schizoaffective disorder affects the mood more heavily. It's believed to be a more extreme form of schizophrenia, which explains her lifestyle fully. The new medications she's received are Prestique, meant for depression, Invega, a schizophrenia treatment, an unspecified tranquilizer, and a muscle relaxer. The previously mentioned medications are no longer to be used. The Invega dosage is at 9 milligrams and 50 milligrams for the Prestique. The entirety of this upload is devoted to her wanting to get her Risperdal back because the new medication is having more negative effects on her, whereas the Risperdal had done barely anything. As a result of the new medication, she's been getting nauseous, so much so that she had to call her dad during school to get her.
I dislike my new medication, totally. And I got really nauseous, so I had to call my dad to have him come get me. So I went home and I went to sleep for a while, and I was sleeping, and then I was awake, and now I'm here.
We also learn that the tranquilizer she's been given is Xanax. It's mostly a summary of the last video, revealing how distressing the impact of the medications is currently. Furthermore, apparently someone commented on her eating cereal with chopsticks. I'm not even sure how that's possible, and in that she's no longer dancing. I guess I don't even have commentary for this. It's like trying to drink broth with a 3-pronged fork. It just does not work. And because of this, she's planning on uploading a dancing video. She doesn't say it, but it's probably because she wants to keep her mind off the medicine. The videos have been progressively more depressing as time has gone on. This upload is aptly named. The last 2 videos have been on virtually the same subjects, so it's clear she's running out of ideas. If anything, that's a symptom of the depression, complete and total fixation on the negatives. Sure, she mentions other aspects of her life, but those are minor, few and far between, and ostensibly a product of her wandering mind. The very notion of her having nothing to talk about, though still making a video, is another instance of her wanting to occupy herself. I'll skip over the moments I deem superfluous to the story. She references a friend named Slater, calling him a, quote, dear friend, which partially contradicts the earlier sentiment of her having no one to go to. Regardless, it should definitely be considered a positive. Any friend is a bridge to normality for her. Hereinafter, she got 2 letters, written in Japanese, from her grandmother. If anyone wants to attempt to translate these, please do so in the comments below. Would be greatly appreciated because I physically cannot. This is a 4-second video of her eating. You guessed it, a Japanese snack. I'm not going to play it because people fetishize content like this, and I'm not going to add fuel to the flame. Hanrahan is not as cheery as she is normally. It can be implied that something happened to her, though she doesn't explicitly say what. I'll play the clip. It's disturbing.
I don't know if it's just me or if anyone else has realized it, but if I noticed that you all with me, I noticed the world is messed up. I noticed. Did you notice?
And what adds to it is the description, which reads,
Ha 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 ha, so funny, ha 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 ha, giggle, ha ha.
legitimately concerning. She is presumably thinking about her future job prospects on the basis that things are going downhill in her life. Listing that you have schizoaffective disorder on a resume isn't the most beneficial. Mental illness frequently faces discrimination in the workplace, and that'll be no different for her. Thus, she believes that she will be self-employed, which is certainly likely. The main factor in this is that it pertains to the computer, whether that means graphic design or video game programming.
So I'm going to start working on that now, build up my skills, but I need you guys to give me some information on other jobs that may include the same things that are not too hard.
Being an artist is a difficult profession to succeed in, especially considering she wishes to be self-employed. The description reads,
Help me with some job ideas in the future. If you're a graphic designer or programmer, tell me a bit about it. I want to do something with art.
This might be a stretch. However, I feel that there's some level of mental recognition that her audience is far older than she is. The first thing I noticed was that the room is far darker than it is usually. The new medication is causing her to gain weight and feel lethargic. She's been going to bed at 7 p.m. and waking up at 11 p.m., essentially waking up every hour throughout the night past that. Adding to this, she believes that a mood stabilizer would function better than an antidepressant, as there have been more side effects. Rather than to remove the depressive feelings, the medication has been making her feel more exuberant. Simply put, it's not working as intended.
It's making me gain weight, and it makes me very tired. I go to sleep at like 7, 8 o'clock. I'm glad it's the weekend. It was a long week. And my medicine makes me gain weight. My medicine doesn't help me at all. I think I should be put back on a mood stabilizer and not on an antidepressant, because since it makes me feel weird, because it doesn't make my depressed feelings go away. It just makes me feel kind of excited. So I'm thinking of depressing things, but I feel excited, and it's gonna turn me into some kind of psychopath or something.
She opens the video by saying that only one person in her life is capable of cheering her up, which confirms my theory of her attempting to pull her mind away from her sadness in the last 4 videos. They could either be considered positives, her visibly being happier, or negatives, her hiding the depression, and it's clear it's the latter. Thus, She asks her viewers to cheer her up as much as possible. The submissions for such have since been deleted as YouTube figured out that this channel is run by a minor. But this is a clear call for a parasocial relationship, another culprit for the growing audience of elderly men viewing her, though that'll be brought up later. Hanrahan specifies that she doesn't mean a quick chuckle. She means cheering her up for good, to drag her out of her rut.
So it appears as though only one person in my life can cheer me up. So let's play a little game. How about the person who can cheer me up the most wins? You don't have to play. I doubt any of you will want to play, but you can go for a try. Try to cheer me up and try to win. And I don't mean cheer me up for like 5 seconds. I mean do something to cheer me up for good. Get me out of my depression, man, because I don't want to be depressed anymore. Cha!
Another instance of her being evidently happier, though I'm not showing it for reasons stated prior. This is the largest gap between uploads thus far. She has a meeting with her psychiatrist the day after this to switch her medication, which follows the narrative expressed. Nothing's changed besides her attempted attitude throughout this. She goes as far as to say she's worse than she was before, a concerning result of the medication. Not only this, she believes she's fat now, pressing her finger against her bicep to show the weight gain. As an extension of the title, the description states,
Hooray! Now, only if they'll increase my dosage.
These 2 months have given away how she's known more than the doctors all along. Rather than to continue the Invega, she's switching to Lexapro, an antidepressant, more Risperdal for the hallucinations, mirtazapine, another antidepressant primarily used for major depressive disorder, and Adderall for focusing. The description simply says,
Everything looks normal from here.
The video itself is her falling out of her chair slowly, frustratedly. It probably was something minor because the video immediately after is titled,
I'm in a good mood.
She pulls her arm to reveal a band-aid creased across her elbow pit. She had been brought to the hospital for taking 10 grams of Tylenol. She's unsure as to why she did it and specifies that it wasn't with suicidal intent.
And if you're wondering about this, I had another band-aid on this arm, like this. Well, you see, I had taken too much Tylenol. 500 milligram pills, so that's 10 grams. I don't know what I was thinking at the time. Like, really, I'm not suicidal. No matter how sad I get, I'm not suicidal. I don't like hurting myself. I wasn't doing it to get high, because I know you can't get high off of Tylenol. But I wasn't thinking at the time. I was like, whoa, I don't even know why I did it.
Luckily, it was removed from her system. There was quite a trek from hospital to hospital and eventually a psychiatric ward where she was placed on suicide watch, medical professionals watching her do every action of every minute to ensure she was safe. Hanrahan goes on to explain why suicide is stupid, and unless your circumstances are genuinely unfixable, it should never even be in the question. It's stated almost as if she's trying to convince herself of this logic, but the logic itself is stated with such confidence to the point that I'm conflicted about her mental state. What's to be taken away from this is the sheer coherency of her mannerisms of speech. Compared to the first few videos, it's a drastic improvement. The description offers a summary of events.
A small story on what happened the past 4 days. Luckily, my hospital and psych ward visit was short. That's because I wasn't suicidal in the first place and I'd gotten all the 10 grams of Tylenol out of my system within the first day. I had almost destroyed my liver. I was hours away from destroying my liver.
And on March 12th, 2011, she would post her last video on that channel, that of a dance. There are a few videos in between that are somewhat questionable, and the gap between this and the last video is 4 months. This is because she was locked out of the channel, the reason for such being unknown. Following her exclusion from Zombie Beats 2000, Hanrahan created a fresh profile under the username 37564NatesHiko, where she shared a collection of music remixes. However, this account remained active for only a brief period before being deserted for reasons undisclosed. I'll play a clip for you so you can understand the gist. It's something. On October 11th, 2011, the earliest documented discussion of Hanrahan emerged when an unidentified user initiated a thread on the /A board of 4chan. Within the thread, the initial poster revealed that, after conducting some research, they discovered that Hanrahan was alive and well, and that she had established a new channel.
404 again. Thanks to everyone who helped me out. If you have any more advice, my line is Nades is Cola, and my Facebook is I knew I could count on you guys.
On March 18th, 2016, Hanrahan initiated several threads on 4chan's B-board, where she disclosed that she had recently become homeless and had run away from her residence. While seeking guidance from B-board users, she also shared her social media presence.
Don't 404 me again, guys. Please, talk to me. Ask a newly homeless alcoholic to anything.
On July 26, 2017, Hanrahan made a post on the R9K board of 4chan, noting the time with a timestamp that read, "It's 3 in the morning, R9K." However, the image was promptly removed, and the anonymous users of the R9K board reacted with a hostile reception.
Sorry, I'm on my phone.
In mid-2017, Hanrahan began to draw the attention of the B-board of 8chan, leading to the emergence of numerous threads about her on the platform. On December 1st, 2017, an anonymous user on the B-board went a step further by creating a thread that contained her personal information. Anonymous users made significant efforts to uncover more details about her and her current whereabouts. It's worth noting that a few months earlier, she had made most of her social media accounts private, as users from R9K had attempted to contact her not long after her initial post on the board in July 2017. Shortly after the doxing incident on 8chan, anonymous users began creating tribute and discussion threads centered around Hanrahan. This activity divided the board's users into two factions. Some were enamored by her, finding her endearing due to her charm and social awkwardness, while others harbored animosity. Those who became fans of Hanrahan affectionately referred to her as, quote, the Queen of 8B, or the Neat Queen, or the Queen of Neats. This dumbass nickname. It was on 8chan that she earned her nickname, and anonymous users started turning her into a meme. Those who held negative opinions of her gave her the derogatory nickname Horiko, and insisted on saging every thread about her. To counteract trolling and hate directed toward her, Hanrahan's fans established this is bad, the Ashley Internet Defense Service. This is real. I'm not Over time, the activity surrounding threads related to Hanrahan on 8chan began to wane, but occasional discussions and the posting of memes about her persisted. Meanwhile, on the 4chan R9K board, threads dedicated exclusively to Hanrahan continued, although they didn't receive a high volume of traffic. Nevertheless, Hanrahan's name consistently surfaced in almost every discussion regarding female needs in general on the R9K B-board. It's important to note that this topic could be a source of controversy, as some anonymous users on the board believed that she was entirely insincere. In July 2018, a Reddit user named CrossCables initiated a thread on the r/deep into YouTube subreddit, which was linked to Hanrahan's video titled "Mental Illness Takes Its Toll." This thread garnered nearly 200 replies and received over 1,000 upvotes. Within the discussion, Reddit users posed various questions concerning Hanrahan's well-being and her current whereabouts. Some users took it upon themselves to conduct independent research and contacted Hanrahan's friends to alert them about the doxing incident. Additionally, the thread served as a platform for users to explain the motivations behind why 4chan and 8chan targeted individuals like her. Conversations also delved into mental health-related topics, including discussions and debates about the use of medications for individuals with mental illnesses. The comment section is a cesspool, of which I will read verbatim. Warning, these comments are kind of disturbing, to say the least. As someone who saw the OP video and found her attractive, I can explain why. I'll clarify first that the comments on the forums creep me the up. I think she's likable because she looks both pretty and at the same time there is this desire to quote-unquote fix her. Like, maybe if you're there for her, then she gets better, then she'll be forever thankful for helping her out. It may also bet that she's an attractive female version of virgin anime fanboys. Picture this. You're a male, ugly, not very socially active, nerdy, popular girls don't like you. You've been an outcast most of your life. The main reason why you're awkward is because you never had sex, and you can't have sex because you're awkward. You try going out, but the places you go, you see quote-unquote outgoing people who are not physically attracted to you nor interested on your personality. The only person who will understand you and ultimately have a chance to be interested in you anyway are people like you. So here you are on your mother's basement, ugly and overweight 30-year-old man who masturbates to anime, who reads too much online forums. Suddenly you see a female version of yourself that is not 300 pounds or facially malformed. Yeah, she may not be right in the head, but that can be fixed, right? Now you want to meet her, you want to chase this chance, even if slim, at least to know what love is. So she becomes your queen, you stalk her, you put her on a pedestal. It took you too long to reach out. Now when you see her, you'll either look the other way or have some kind of autistic meltdown. End of hypothesis. I may be absolutely wrong, but hey, I attempted to understand why people idolize her. Hope it helps you a bit. There's so much annoying in the comments. Please do not take these meds. You are still young. Do not listen to your psychiatrist or your parents if they want you to take medicine. Try to dose down from your medicine, and if you don't get help, then find help or do it yourself. Ignore your family and trained professionals, but listen to me, a complete internet stranger, because I had a personally bad experience. I don't know, man, I was forced to take antidepressants and go to terrible therapists who made me feel even worse about myself and did not ever make me feel better or give me the tools to do so for about 5 to 10 years. In fact, I became heavily addicted to some of the drugs they prescribed to me, which led to actual hard drugs addiction later in my life after I stopped getting those prescriptions. I personally agree with their sentiment, but on the other hand, I would never express the sentiment unsolicited, and I do not feel like the video was ever soliciting it. On January 18th, 2019, anonymous users on 8chan's B-board stumbled upon Hanrahan's account on a website called CuriousCat.me, where she went by the nickname Velfair2000. CuriousCat.me allows individuals to send messages to one another for direct responses. Consequently, users from the B-board on 8chan organized and coordinated an effort to inundate her account with questions, eagerly anticipating the opportunity to engage directly with their revered figure or queen. Hanrahan actively engaged with the questions posed by the anonymous users from 8chan. The inquiries primarily revolved around her present life circumstances, well-being, and requests for advice on escaping the neat lifestyle. However, it's important important to note that not all the questions were respectful, and some trolls and individuals with hostile intentions made deliberate efforts to send inappropriate messages in an attempt to prompt her to delete her account. For instance, weren't you engaged at some point and also led a double life online, lol?
I was engaged, but I certainly didn't lead a double life. I had a lot of personal issues I never dealt with, which caused me to have a weird breakdown. I've taken recognition for my mistakes, and I've learned from them. The relationship ending was a complicated reason, and I didn't have the chance to tell anyone what happened until many months later, when it was too late to try to make any amends. I just hope Slater is successful in what he pursues and is happy. I have no reason to bother, stalk, or antagonize anyone or anybody. I'm just trying to work, make savings, focus on myself, finish trade school, and be an aircraft mechanic. No use dwelling on the past. It's over, and I've grown and moved on. Cut toxicity out of my life, and all I keep now are genuine people, my own genuine self, and the vision of a better future. Learn and live on. Sorry for the long-winded message.
The raid persisted for nearly 2 weeks until Hanrahan ultimately opted to delete her account on CuriousCat.me. Those on 8chan who harbored negative feelings toward her celebrated this decision, while her devoted fans were incensed and directed blame at the entire B-board for her account's removal. Although the raid had concluded, the threads discussing Hanrahan remained active. Nevertheless, the conversation and interest around her have significantly waned, as there haven't been notable developments following the CuriousCat.me raid. In February 2019, a previously unseen and rare photograph of Hanrahan surfaced on Google Images. A reverse image search revealed that the source of the image was a Portuguese forum website, where one of the forum users maintained a fan account dedicated to Noriko, using the rare image as their avatar. The origin of this image remains a mystery, as it was not found on any of Ashley's prior or current social media profiles, and it was not part of the doxed information. On March 3, 2019, a video from 2017, originally from a private Instagram account of one of Hanrahan's friends, was revealed by the YouTuber Admin Odysseus. The 3-second video captured Hanrahan in a public setting where her friend recorded her while she was shaking an object in her hand. Additionally, in the video, Hanrahan could be seen wearing a Thomas the Tank Engine hat, that's based. Yeah. We love hats here. In late 2018, Hanrahan uploaded a video on her channel where she playfully interacted with a toy gun set to the background music of Hasami Group. She titled the video, quote, "LOLs." Although the video remained on her channel for a period, it was eventually removed after users from 8chan discovered it and began sharing it on image boards. The video continued to circulate online until it was re-uploaded to YouTube on May 31st, 2019. For obvious reasons, I do not have access to this video, so I can't play it. On June 11th, 2019, the aforementioned YouTuber Admin Odysseus shared a new video featuring Hanrahan. The video had originally been on her channel 777 Cry 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 before it was deleted. In this footage, Hanrahan is lying in bed, recording herself using her laptop's webcam and singing the opening theme of the anime Kami-sama Hajimemashita. The exact year in which the video was recorded remains uncertain. The tattoo implies that this is at least a few years after the vlogs, though the quality of the webcam hints at it being far earlier than recent. On December 5th, 2019, YouTuber Benny Wilson engaged with Hanrahan's fans in the comments section of one of the leaked videos. Benny Wilson asserted that he had real-life knowledge of Hanrahan, but expressed his dislike for her. Hanrahan's fans and followers viewed his claims with skepticism, and after some playful exchanges, Benny proceeded to release 3 additional photos. These new images portrayed Hanrahan in a married and contented state, enjoying her life. Shortly after the release of the photos, Benny Wilson faced criticism from Hanrahan's skeptical fans and followers who remained doubtful about his intentions. In response to the backlash, Benny attempted to, quote, expose Hanrahan for who he believed she truly was. However, Her fans remained unconvinced and felt that Benny's focus was predominantly on race, making him appear jealous. Subsequently, a discussion thread emerged on R9K concerning the recently leaked photos, drawing mixed reactions from users. Some expressed happiness for her, while others felt betrayed, perceiving her as transitioning into a different lifestyle or becoming a, quote, normie. Similar threads also appeared on various other image boards, sparking discussions about the recent leaks. This is a comment from Benny Wilson, who has a Jared Leto Joker profile picture. Jesus Christ. Armazen, quote unquote, or a guy like me, what are you? Also, I don't like her because she cheated on her boyfriend with an Italian-American guy and then spread rumors about him, has awful meme politics, and she's racist despite being I'm not going to say that, and her brother looking Central American. She doesn't deserve a Northern European because she finds them to be effeminate and weak and either cheats on them or publicly emasculates them. Taking care of a dog is different from a child. Maybe during infancy it's comparable, but as the child grows, he becomes his own person, and Ashley's neurosis wouldn't do any child any good. Not to mention her husband is autistic, you can hear it in his voice. He sometimes, I'm not gonna imitate that, unintentionally because he has autism, but she loves him anyway and will post clips where he's talking. I can't repost them because they were only ever posted as IG stories. Also, the kid would come out looking Hispanic. I'm not going to read that. She's probably terrified. Quote unquote, it's remarkable she's not happy with this guy. Actually, she says she is. I'm only saying that I give it a year until she does the usual Ashley thing and goes insane. Her acting normal and pretending to be happily married probably feels like holding in a well, it's already halfway out. If she felt trapped while dating that Slater guy who let her post lewd pictures but got her out of the house every once in a while to hang out with his not autistic DJ friends, then it's only a matter of time before Miss Walmart goes bat insane playing house with this guy. Also, she fails to realize herself is autistic, and this little hyper fixation of hers with the military will die one day, and then she'll realize she's a military wife and stuck. This is actually the most deranged thing I've ever read in my life. This is where our story ends. It's kind of abrupt, but her presence on the internet has pretty much disappeared. The rabbit hole dies here, unless she makes another presence on the internet, which is kind of unlikely. This is a contentious topic. I hope this was at least semi-informational. I hope you enjoy the editing. It took a while. I hope you enjoy this. This is better, right? This is better compared to the old stuff. I mean, you have the funny light. You have the funny light each time I talk. That's crazy. That's crazy. Production value. Now I'm wearing a coat. I'm wearing gloves. No more mask, so you can hear me crystal clear. Improvement. Anyway, enjoy your day.